precarious position, going on 1 versus 1 against Alchemist, now turning into 1 versus 2, but they are going to give up chasing because Udyr is just a very tanky, quick character to be chasing down.
And a champion you don't see all that often. St. Vicious is known to play him, or at least have him in his champion repertoire, but other than that, not a lot of other professional junglers bring out the Udyr a lot. I've seen Diamond Prox famous for his Tiger Stance Udyr, but this is going to be a Phoenix Stance coming out from I'm So Fresh, and I'm So Fresh, one of the sort of like Diamond Prox version 2, very innovative as far as the jungler is concerned. Not afraid to play absolutely anything in the jungle. First time I ever cast him, he was jungling Kale, so that should give you an idea about what he's capable of. And on Udyr here is going to form a very important role for Millenium, as they do have double backline champions in Shlaya and Nanook. He's going to be part of the front line that's tasked with keeping them safe.
Yeah, it's very true. I was about to say, Diamond Prox does play a bit of Udyr as well, but he starts Dawn's Blade, and as you said, the Tiger Stance. So it's always interesting and fascinating to me to watch how these pro players, and indeed the top level players, basically just approach different ways of playing characters. So this definitely is I'm So Fresh's take on the Udyr. Meanwhile, Schleyer and Diode are just kind of chilling out in the tri-bush, getting some of the oracles paying out dividends, taking away the vision, and they're going to try and just be a bit of a nuisance at bot lane.
Bottom lane right now for Schleyer is where he is going up against Alchemist, but mid, Dignitas will take down their 3rd turret of the game, evening things up against Millenium. And top lane, Doigby has really impressed me this tournament. Every single time he's at least gone even, and this time in this tournament, 1-0-1 versus Nitrix, who's 0-0-0. So very uneventful top lane. Probably didn't miss much over the course of that, but the real action has been going down bottom. The 80 carries dueling it out. We're going to see the most anticlimactic battle between Doigby and Nitrix ever, as 2 super tanks just kind of going up against one another. But Renekton, as a very high damage bruiser, should be able to stack up a lot of armor, and maybe something that Nanook and Shlaya have a rough time dealing with. Still has to close that 650 range though to get into position.
Yep, that's true. One of the good points, I guess, about Shen Doigby here is he does have the stand united, so if himself and Renekton are just chilling out at top lane, he can suddenly join the fray with the rest of his team and try and make a big impact. Meanwhile, in mid lane, they're just going to be poking down this tower. It hasn't taken serious damage as of yet. I'm So Fresh catches a Grasping Roots, but he is so tanky with that turtle stance coming up and really takes no damage at all.
Yeah, he's not actually concerned about most of the situation going on. Very tanky, like you mentioned. He's going to be going down bottom to help Shlaya pressure this turret. Alchemist not really with a lot of wave clear, so to speak. He's going to be able to get a lot of damage down there. He's going to try to disengage Wilgenway from Impaler as he impales his way over the wall. Nothing really going on right now except for... and that's actually really good for Millenium, because they need a lot of time to farm up 280 carries that, as hyper carries, really do require a lot of itemization. And as the game draws on, you're gonna have to look for a couple of things to keep in mind. Alchemist, as an AP carry, something that Millenium don't have, is going to be very key at picking off either Nanook or Shlaya. Because if he gets beset by either I'm So Fresh or Doigby, he's just gonna blow apart, whereas the 80 carries obviously having that long range to help them out. I'm So Fresh getting dunked on in the bottom lane. Thorns will go out, do get the knockup. He is flashed away. There's going to be a Shen ultimate, not able to pick up the kill and or to save his life, allowing Dignitas to pick up the kill. Nitrix also stunned out Doigby, so he wouldn't have teleported anyway.
There was so much damage put down on Udyr though. He tanked for a good 10-15 seconds. Cataclysm, Stranglethorns, and the kitchen sink was thrown at him, and he only just went down in the end. So it goes to show again just how tanky and beefy that Udyr is right now, and I'm So Fresh. At top lane, as you were saying, Doigby did pop off the stand united, but there was Renekton with the Ruthless Predator to just cancel that one away. And I really do like this pick. Just going back to the double AD composition, one of the main ways of getting rid of the terror that is Kassadin is to shut him down in lane. lane and not allow him to roam. It's the same kind of principle as a Twisted Fate. If you keep him by his own tower and not getting much farm, he can't go ahead and roam to bot or top because then he loses his tower. By picking Caitlyn against a melee champion like Kassadin, she can get free farm in mid while also harassing him, and that's going to be kind of testified in the sense that the CS differential between them is over 40 CS right now. Yarrow takes a smacking on the backside there, forced to flash away actually as I'm So Fresh goes in. Doesn't look like a great deal's going to happen though.
There's a flash over the wall from Nitrix, and everybody once again kitchen sink being thrown at I'm So Fresh, continue to dash in there, but there is the nuke in the back. Shadow Dash will land onto Doigby, or onto Nitrix, as Doigby will go in there as Alchemist taking the brunt of the damage, but dishing out so much more in return and actually blowing up the nuke there. It's only Schleia left alive as far as the damage is concerned, with Doigby there to protect him, and Impaler coming around the engage a little bit too hard for Millenium to deal with. There's actually the Shadow Dash hits on to Samwise, reduces the damage coming his way, but will probably go down. One last auto attack takes him out. Just took a little bit of the wrong trip back to that turret.
Schleier's now been caught out of position as well, will be going down for the double kill to Corki. And I've got to say, I even mentioned this as I was casting, I didn't think anything was going to happen, but that's why these guys are the top level of players and I am not, because they can see those plays on the horizon when mere mortals like myself can't. It was actually a flash through the wall from Nitrix that started that one off on I'm So Fresh, who went a bit too ballsy, a bit too aggressive into the heart of the opposition of Dignitas UK. So we've been putting a lot of emphasis on that double AD composition. If they get caught though, it's going to be curtains, especially if they feed Kassadin, who's now picked up 2 kills and has the Rod of Ages.
Well, also with the Seeker's Arm Guard just early on to help him just lane against Schleia, is going to have that armor, and may actually go for Azanya's Hourglass even before completing that Seraph's Embrace, which is almost done stacking. Tear of the Goddess, that is, only has about 150 more stacks left to go. And at least for right now, Dignitas with a solid push up the mid lane, take out every turret in that lane, secure themselves a 1 turret lead, and with Dragon respawning in 13 seconds, are poised to take that objective.
They certainly are, but Doiby's at the top lane right now. He's going to be trying to get some of this farm away. Renekton going to bot, so it seems players are a bit more preoccupied with this Baron dance and trying to get rid of as much ward coverage as possible, with both the top laners kind of inactive in terms of team play, actually going to be recalling, or at least flirting with the idea of recalling. So we have got that close, tense, claustrophobic kind of situation here, Rapid, with both teams respecting one another and not wanting to put a foot wrong, because even though that fight went in the way of Dignitas, have a look at the goal, it's still neck and neck in anybody's game.
And while the gold may be even, you're going to see some strengths in different areas for each one of the teams, whereas for Millenium, the kills are more spread out. If you look at Dignitas, 5-0 Corki. Samwise, just an absolute monster, and having 2 AD carries that are both mediocrely fed, if that's a word, is not really going to do the same thing for you as having one that is just absolutely gigantic. Samwise in the back with double buffs, as well as a huge front line to go in front of him, has just been absolutely on point all game long.
Yeah, and this is the problem with having a double AD composition. Just armor is your best friend. Here comes the engage from Impaler, actually going to be turning straight onto Alchemist. I'm So Fresh is very tanky, but he's flying down in health right now. As you said, 5-0 Corki, now 6-0 Corki is just shredding through all the armor and health as well. Suddenly turns into a 3-0 double kill for Corki, who's moved on for 7-0. Look at the burst damage on Sona, who instantly gets popped. And right now, Schleia has post-traumatic stress disorder after seeing his whole team brutalized in front of his eyes. He could be falling as a result. Corki comes in and claims the ace. My goodness, that burst damage on Corki is insane right now.
A 5-for-1 full-on ace there for Dignitas UK. They will push in towards the first base turret of the game, take it down. Unfortunately, Nitrix tanked the turret just a little bit too long, so did wind up falling there at the end. But first inhibitor of the game will go to Dignitas UK as they take it out and back on off from the Millenium base.
Yeah, so just going back onto the point that I was making before all hell broke loose and fireworks were thrown around from Dignitas, the fact of the matter is, with a double AD composition with Shen and Udyr, they are just building full-on armor. Look at those items. Randuin's Omen from Renekton and a Sunfire Cape. flashing actually from Udia trying to claim the kill on Alchemist. However, Alchemist should be able to escape this with the Riftwalk. There we go. And the Valkyrie from Corki for good measure as well. Going back to what I was saying, you got an Aegis of the Legion alongside the Ninja Tabi Boots and the Spirit of the Ancient Golem on Jarvan. So he's very tanky. That being said though, Rapid, they're actually starting off the Baron here.
But with the Corki poke coming in, excuse me, from Samwise and Impaler poised to smite that away. You got Shlaya over the wall, auto-attacking the dragon, or the Baron rather. There's gonna be Strangled Thorns perfectly placed in the very middle of the pit. The Baron buff is stolen away, goes to Dignitas. Samwise goes legendary, Millenium in full retreat.
I feel that may have been a desperation Baron from Millenium after they have been on the receiving end of a battering these last couple of team fights. Maybe it was a case of, okay, we've got 2 AD carries, so we should theoretically be a fast Baron clearing team. Nope, it just did not work out. Jarvan flies in. He does also have the advantage in the sense that his team is so bulky right now that as soon as they showed up, Millenium were like, oh god, we can't fight this, we have to get out of dodge. Easy smite in the end for him. And now on top of all the other woes, they've lost a flurry of turrets, so that on global presence wise they're way behind now Millenium, and also gold plus the Baron buff. If it wasn't so bad before, it's now a catastrophic situation for Millenium to be in.
For now, Millenium, they are outside their base. They're able to push lanes. They're not out of this yet, but down 13-5 in kills. Then that will directly translate into that 6,000 gold deficit right now. Shlaya caught out by himself. The net does not land. Alchemist looking for a Riftwalk into slow. There's the immediate dunk on Shlaya. Gets a huge amount of shields from Barrier and Shen Ultimate. And actually a little bit of an over-committal here by Dignitas, but Nitrix just absolutely here smashing down Nanook. Down Doigby to fall second as Dignitas just blow that team fight wide open.
Man, Corki is doing enough damage to pretty much kill everybody on Millenium by himself. He has enough damage just as Corki to crush everybody. Look at those items. Infinity Edge, Triforce, Last Whisper at 28, nearly 29 minutes through this game. That is obscene amounts of armor shred and magic shred as well. He has Sork Shoes. This is something a lot of the top level Corkis will go for all of the penetration that it will give him. And it's now just at that kind of stage where if Corki positions well, if Samwise plays a team fight well, he'll crush. Here we go, they're going to be engaging behind the tower. Samwise jumping in with Valkyrie. However, just picking up the AD carry, well, so the mid laner, I guess I should say here, Slayer, that's going to equate into another tower falling and indeed an inhibitor. And I feel that the curtain is starting to come down. The last nails are being smacked into that coffin for Millenium.
With the second Nexus turret under attack, it's going to be damage coming in from super minions. 2 lanes, it's 2 inhibitors. I think it said Nexus turret, I meant inhibitor. A second inhibitor falling. It looks to see the last base turret go down, and there it will. Third inhibitor now under attack by Dignitas. Millenium looking for the defense. It's going to be very difficult to find it. I'm so fresh onto Alchemist, who doesn't actually care all that much. Now Samwise Valkyrieing in. I'm so fresh going down, and Shlaya just now respawning. He's going to be desperately needed in this team fight. There's Nook and Shlaya in the back, but so much burst coming in from Samwise. The double kill on top of the dug. Now Shlaya getting locked up. Goes down, only Dude left alive. A triple kill for Samwise, 14-0-6.
It never fails to impress me how well Dignitas UK snowball games. When we first joined this game casting, they were 3-1 behind, and Millenium were a few thousand gold ahead. And suddenly, just off a couple of good plays, they snowball the game in the blink of an eye into their favour. Corki picking up the kills. Samwise finishes that game 14 kills, 0 deaths, 6 assists. He was involved in every single kill that Dignitas UK picked up. That goes to show their team fighting prowess and how behind they were in the lane defense, that your AD is involved in every kill that your team picks up. Again, Dignitas UK are so good at snowballing victories, and I'm really looking forward to this second game.
Absolutely, and so as we